the request of some various DMs I've had for the difference between Topps and Topps Tiffany. For a lot of collectors, this won't be very useful info if you've been following the hobby for a long time, particularly if you're ever looking at junk wax era stuff. You're probably familiar with it, but if not, basically Topps came up with a collector's edition set at the end of each year that was sent, I think, only available to hobby shops. That was much short printed compared to the regular series, and I've got a couple examples here. And basically, print runs, I don't know where they got these numbers from. There's an article online that talks about what the estimated print run of the Tiffany's were. In the range of some sets as low as 5,000, some up to 30,000 sets, which for the junk wax era is short printed big time, because the regular Topps cards, this is a regular Topps, that most people have if you're going through stuff from your childhood or in your attic that were available in packs or factory sets at, Toys R Us or whatever. People estimated that they literally printed hundreds of thousands, if not up to 1 million of these cards during the height of the junk wax era in the early 90s, late 80s. So if you follow eBay stuff or prices of stuff, you probably notice Tiffany cards quite often go for many multiples of the regular Topps version of these cards. Not always, because sometimes the regular Topps are tough to find, but Tiffany in general, it's one of the few somewhat short printed cards from the junk wax era, which doesn't have much that was very short printed in it. So if you can find high quality copies of a lot of these cards, that's why they sell for a premium. And there's a lot of collectors who follow these, myself included. I think it's one of the coolest cards to collect. And I've just got a couple examples here. If you're going through your stuff, some of the key details that are different. So we have the 86 Topps Mattingly on the left and the 86 Topps Tiffany Mattingly on the right. And on the front and on video, you probably can't tell a big difference. And you can't tell on a PSA case card, but the Tiffany have a glossy surface. The Topps have sort of a more cardboard feel to them. If you are curious if some old cards you found in a box from a long time ago are Topps or Topps Tiffany, the odds are probably 100 to 1, if not more, that it's a regular Topps, unless you happen to be in like a hobby shop or get them from someone who used to be a dealer. So one of the key things you can see visually is the difference on the back. So Tiffany's are on a higher quality, brighter stock, and you can probably see that pretty well right there. Let me turn it this way. The Tiffany is on the left, regular Topps on the right, and just look at how much the Tiffany pops. It's I think, slightly thicker stock, and it's a brighter stock. A couple other examples of that is the Chipper Jones. And regular Topps here on the left and Tiffany on the right. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's a little more impressive in person. From another year, you can see it really well with the Frank Thomas. Regular Topps, Tiffany on the right, and I don't know if you can see how much brighter the 1990 is than the regular stock. Let me see, I'll show an 87 as well. So regular Topps on the left, Tiffany on the right, and again, glossy surface, which you can't really appreciate on video, or really can't even really appreciate the glossy surface once they're in a holder in person. But there's the backs, regular Topps on the left and Tiffany on the right, really just popping, a little more eye appeal on the right. So why the price difference? One, not every parallel that's made, especially when you look today, ends up getting super popular with collectors, but some do. And the biggest reason is the difference, particularly when you're looking at graded cards in the population. So the Chipper Jones rookie is one of the prime examples of this. I think it's one of the best examples. The regular Chipper Topps has, I pulled it up here. As of today, let me pull it. Okay, sorry for the, there's 5,300 PSA 10s of the regular tops to go with 2,100 PSA 9s. So that's 7,300 already that have been graded as mint or better from one of the most popular players that came out in the junk wax era. It's hard to find any chipper stuff that's rare. For such a popular player, most of his stuff is cheap because it's so plentiful, and that number of 5,300 cards graded 10, it's probably just going to keep going up because there's still so much unopened product from the era. The Tiffany, on the other hand, has a population of 38, or I don't know, 160, 170 times more rare in gem mint form. Same card, just infinitely harder to find, and that's why people pay a premium for it. Mattingly is a tough Tiffany. There's only, I think, low double digits of the Mattingly. Maybe it's in like the 10 to 15 pop, and I think the 86 is in the 1 to 200 range. So even that's like 10 times more rare. Now, some people who are more purists, I think like a lot of the registries don't consider Tiffany's to be true rookie cards, but collectors don't seem to mind that at all because they're still willing to pay a high premium, especially player collectors of certain cards. So that's just a little basics. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to show. Tops, sorry, they made them from 89 to 91, and Bowman did it too in 1989 and 1990. I don't think in the 91 set. And oh shoot, those are both Bowman. Here's a Tiffany Bowman on the left and a regular Bowman Griffey on the right. Not the same player in this instance, but again, same idea. Glossy front, slightly better stock for the Tiffany on the left, and you can see it popping a little bit on the back. So that's the video. Thanks for listening.